Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Conley with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be looking at the golf swing of Max Homa and discussing a few things that we can take away from Max Homa's swing that anyone can learn from and hopefully utilize to improve their own golf swing. Now, Max Homa's success on tour has been the result of a lot of hard work. I think his swing has really come around nicely. He's also done a ton of mental work on his game, so it's important to note that obviously his swing is great. He's one of the best golfers in the world, but there is work outside of the swing that he has done that has contributed to his recent success. But in terms of the swing itself, I think Max Homa's swing currently has one of the best tempos or swing rhythms on tour. Watching it just in real-time speed, there's so much to like. It's a very conducive swing to excellent short iron play and wedge play because he doesn't go, he doesn't have one of these really fast tempo swings that can, certainly hit drivers very far, but get a little bit inconsistent when it comes to wedges and short irons. He just seems like he has so much control, and that's really allowed him to dial in those wedges and his proximity to hole with short irons. But there are other aspects of his swing that have really allowed him to do better with those long irons and drivers. I think one of the main things that we can see from this angle is how he doesn't really get his hands crazy high in the air. And normally when I'm talking about getting your hands high, the person that I'll turn to is Justin Thomas. His hands are super high up in the air at the top of the backswing right before transition. And I think Homa actually spoke a little bit about how he tried to do that, but he couldn't. He didn't have the flexibility, the mobility to do so, so he flattened it out a little bit. Now, you look at this backswing, the top of the backswing position, those hands aren't low. It's not like 2012 Ricky Fowler low. But comparatively to, the Zalatoris, the Justin Thomas, who do have those high hands, it is a little bit flatter, but that's just what Homa's working with. And rotationally, he can absolutely get away with it because he's a fairly strong guy, decent stature, so he doesn't need to have this crazy explosive move, but he has enough strength where that upper body can really create a lot of work through impact, and that helps him out a lot. Also at the top of the backswing, we see basically a perfectly flat wrist from the forearm angle. And this is something that we don't see much. We've obviously seen guys who have had a ton of success like Rahm and Dustin Johnson who have a lot of flex in that wrist hinge. That's something that Homa also doesn't have. Sometimes when people try and utilize that wrist hinge, it can really negatively often affect the control of the club face. So I think that, again, that's probably something Homa experimented with and he found didn't work for him. I think Homa has created a nearly ideal swing for his skill set and what he can do with it. And then once you have that, then you can really dial in other aspects of your game like distance control, the mental side, the short game, and that's what can create a good golfer. Now, the final thing within the golf swing that I think is probably the most teachable part of Homa's golf swing is the posture at address, as well as the maintaining of that posture throughout the golf swing. You'll often also hear the concept of posture in the golf swing referred to as the spine angle, which is just the angle that the spine is in correlation to the rest of the body. If you put a line on Homa's back at address, it's a very solid posture. Then you look at that posture at the top of the backswing, and then you look at that posture at impact and through impact. It's just textbook. I think you can learn a lot just from watching how that posture maintains. Some people stand really straight at the ball and then they hunch down a little bit at impact, and that lack of maintaining posture does two things. One, it's going to change your low point control and where that club face enters the ground or hits up with the driver. If you don't have that low point control, it is incredibly difficult to be a consistent ball striker. Another thing that will happen over time if you can't maintain that spine angle or have decent posture is you are asking for a back injury at that point. We've seen it. I think Will Zalatoris has had some back issues. He's changed his swing as a result a little bit, but he had a really, really intense spine angle change at impact, and I think that definitely hurt his golf and hurt him physically, obviously. I look at a swing like Joaquin Niemann, who is a very young golfer, a very strong golfer, but there is a very high probability that he will have some back pain as he plays a lot of golf, obviously. And if that back isn't in great positions at impact, over time it will wear him out. Same thing happened with Tiger Woods. Tiger went through a phase where his spine angle was not maintained perfectly through the golf swing, and we all know that Tiger's back is something that really prevents him from unlocking the potential that he has even at his current age. So in summation of Max's golf swing, I think it's just a typical swing that a lot of people can look at and learn from, not only in terms of the posture, but the tempo. There's so much to like about Max as a human. He's obviously great and very transparent, but I think there's a lot to learn from him, just taking what he has and making an excellent golf swing out of it. Also working very hard on the mental game and being a fierce competitor. I think that he's just a great example for a lot of people, and the swing, there are so many points to learn upon. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the golf swing of Max Homa. Whenever people look at swings, there's always certain things that they gravitate towards, so I don't obviously address everything in Max's golf swing. I like to look at, like I said, posture, tempo, rhythm, all of that good stuff. But if you have any more thoughts, I'd love to hear them in the comment section below. You guys seem to be enjoying these swing analysis and the what you can learn from blank's swing videos, so I'd love to do more. Your feedback is always appreciated. If you leave a like rating, it helps YouTube show this content to more people, and it also helps me know what kind of content you are all enjoying. If you want to see more content like this in terms of swing analysis, as well as generalized golf tips, advice, and drills that will help you become more confident on the golf course, feel free to subscribe to the Scratch Golf Tips YouTube channel. We also have over 150 videos already on the channel if you want to go back through them. As always, we thank you very much for watching. Play well and take care.